Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to Step 7 Expand and Emancipate, the live question and answer session with the incredible Tokes Beverly Coker, who is here today. Thank you so much for joining us, Tokes. How are you?
I'm feeling wonderful, and it's my pleasure, and thank you for having me.
Well, it's our absolute honor to have you, Tokes, because, the more I get to know you, the more I am inspired every day, more and more by your heart, your openness, your everything about you, Tokes, is incredibly inspiring. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. I am honored. Thank you. Thank you for the gratitude. Thank you.
Well, that's my absolute pleasure. So, a very warm welcome to those of you who are listening to us live. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
And of course, a very warm welcome to those of you who are watching or listening to the replay. So basically what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be asking the Toke some lovely questions, and she's going to be answering us, and then we're going to hand over to anyone who is listening in the live session if they've got any questions for us today. So I wanted to start off by giving Tokes an opportunity to tell us a little bit more about who she is, and Tokes a little bit about, what you do and who you are for those people who are listening who may not know who you are.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name's Tokes Beverly Coker. I'm an alchemical light coach. What that means is I create alchemy in my sessions, and when I speak to people. I believe that when you speak, or when your presence is there has to be a change in the atmosphere or in someone. There has to be a change, and the change must be a vortex of love, an insight, an understanding, and a healing. And sometimes people don't even realize they've experienced that in my presence. It always makes me feel very, very, very centered when I know that with my work, even without people speaking to me, something is happening to their energy. I'm not talking from a point of arrogance. I've just been training such a long time doing this. And every day, in every way, I wake up and I ask, in what way can I serve humanity? In what way can I create balance? In what way can I help a person breathe better and feel a process of expansion? So when I'm working with my clients and just people that I meet, I tend to hide myself. I tend not to say I'm this or that. I do that intentionally because I feel that you reveal yourself and your power when needed and when asked. I'm learning to blow my own trumpet, but it's not something I'll say I'm familiar with. I tend to be the person that comes from behind the scenes when there's a situation, and then I reveal when that energy is. So I believe that it's not so much about words, it's more about action. It's not so much about speaking, it's more about the heart. So it's easy to hear people say, I'm this, I'm that, and it's good. However,
Yes.
how do you deliver? What do you deliver? How consistent are you? So I believe I'm a person that helps other people to be aware of their consistency and their quality of delivery and the way they appear in themselves and then present themselves to the world. And we want to make that from a point of power and presence rather than illusion and grand illusion of the self that projects a false impression, but the person thinks it's right. So I tend to break myself and break others down in that. What's your real emotion? What's the mask behind the mask? What is behind that mask you're presenting? And is it really your mask, or is it your mother's mask, or is it somebody else's mask? And I think that's what I try to do from time to time. I just had a conversation with a client. She's been with me for 7 years. And she started knowing nothing. She got herself a farm. And we're talking about what she wants to do next year. And it was interesting listening to her and helping her to recognize what she's actually achieved as opposed to her failings, because she was concentrating on her failures. So an alchemical light coach, like me, likes to shine the light on a person's greatness, shine the light on the hope, on the things they've achieved in their lives, and again, how they have expanded, emancipated themselves. And that this is very important as healers, as coaches, as mothers, as friends, as lovers. We want to be able to expand. We want to be able to expand other people, their vortex around us. We want them to feel free to be themselves, to feel a sense of freedom and liberty. It's easier said than done. With practice, we can all aspire and we can all achieve this.
Wow.
And I think I believe in tears. I believe in the concept of crying. I believe it's good to cry. And when you work with the energy of tears, you're working with the angel of tears, and water is flow. You need tears to flow, to move in from one aspect to the other, to go through the crisis. And as you go through that crisis, you come out, you've expanded your vortex, you've emancipated yourself, you've got a sense of freedom. And it's just so fabulous to have that. And this visual I'm looking at here of Connie jumping in the air, this very beautiful, expand and emancipate picture here of the visual is just so beautiful and so perfect. Just looking at a picture that has a vortex of power, or looking at somebody who is helping you and you feel a sense of freedom and you really feel that they're listening to you and they're hearing you and they want you to be successful and be happy. You may not believe that in yourself, but they're holding that vortex for you. And this is what an alchemical light coach does. And I like to think that's what I do.
Wow.
Yes, I do.
Well, I definitely do think that you embody all of those as a soul and as a person. So Tokes, tell me a little bit about what you think the steps would be to expand and emancipate. So you touched on a little bit about what some of those concepts might be, but what do you think we could do to expand and emancipate? For me, expanding is a daily conscious awareness of consciously taking actions. You were talking about the concept of quality of delivery and action versus heart, and what could we do to expand, and what do those concepts mean to you, expand and emancipate?
Okay, first of all, to expand, you need to know where you are now. Working with the vortex of the energy of now, the question you need to ask yourself is, where am I now? Now, again, you may not be able to answer that, or you may be, but you just say to yourself, close your eyes, where am I now? Where exactly am I now? Am I lost? Am I confused? Am I crying? Am I isolated? Am I feeling like nothing? Am I feeling like I don't belong? I don't fit in? Where am I now? And you're in that vortex of that, I just feel nothing. And then you may be in the vortex, I'm so happy, I feel so free, I feel so empowered, I feel so wonderful, I feel so much joy. Everything I'm saying, everything I'm wanting is coming to happen. So there are two different points of view. So in terms of expansion, you need to know where you are. So let's say you're at the point of everything is happening and you're joyful. You're at that point. It could be that you've expanded so much and you're feeling so great. It may be time for you to enjoy that expansion, that nourishment, that success, and then slow down and relax. It may be time for you to really appreciate the greatness of you and the benefit of you, and really, really spend time and just loving yourself. So in your expansion of having achieved, you need to then spend time to enjoy your achievement. So that for me is working with the energy of now, and then from that point, moving on. Now, let's say you're in that energy of now and you're feeling really rotten. You're feeling like life's not good. You're feeling like you can't cope. You've tried everything. People are stealing your ideas. People that you trust are betraying you. This is whatever. You're now in that state of now. So you're depressed. You're so lost. You have no idea. So once you identify your state of nerve, when you're in that state, the next thing for you is to say, okay, I feel like this. Breathe that deeply into your vortex. Really breathe in how you feel and then say, what do I want? I want to be happy. I want to stop feeling like an idiot. I want to stop feeling. I want to stop. I want to stop. I'm tired of this person. I'm tired of You want to acknowledge that feeling of lack, of isolation, of abandonment. You want to acknowledge, and then you want to say, okay, I acknowledge this. Where do I go to from now? You see, you cannot move into expansion or emancipation if you don't accept where you are. And once you accept where you are, okay, I'm feeling like not very good. Where do I want to be? I start to breathe in. When we breathe in oxygen into our brain, into our body, we create new cells within the body. We create new DNA. So then I start to breathe. I start to breathe in life force. I don't think, because sometimes thinking brings me back to that negative process. So I don't think. I start to breathe. I go, okay, let me breathe in life force. Let me breathe in chi energy. Let me breathe in pranic energy. And I breathe in. I breathe in love, and I breathe out love. I breathe in joy, and I breathe out joy. I breathe in light, and I breathe out light. I may or may not feel it because I'm in this vortex of lowness, but I start to breathe. I start to think. I use a word that might excite me. And then I breathe in expansion. You just, all of you listening, just think, let me breathe in expansion. Right now, depending where you are, it doesn't matter. Just start breathing in the word expansion. As you're breathing and breathing out, just do it 7 times. Just breathe in and just expansion. I expand and feel yourself expanding. Just not too much thought. And breathe out. The moment you start breathing in expansion, in that vortex of annoyance or hatred or whatever, you suddenly feel a sense of peace or quiet calm come over you. So straight away, expansion. Now, I'm going to ask you to try something. Breathe in the expansion of your anger and tell me how that feels. I can't breathe it in. I just tried to breathe in anger or frustration. Tell me, have you been able to breathe in anger and frustration after you've been breathing in expansion? Try and breathe in a negative thought you were having before. Can you breathe it in now? Yantri, can you breathe it in? Yes or no?
I'm just going to have to unmute her. There we go.
Yantri, can you breathe that in?
No, repeat that.
Huh?
No.
No, you can't breathe in a negative emotion when you started to breathe in, because you already admitted you were negative already. You already admitted you were feeling not so good. You were betrayed. Your partner left you, whatever. And then you were breathing in expansion, and then all of a sudden you tried to breathe in the other negative thought you felt earlier. It's less or it's vanished. So you have used your pranic life force, your chi force, your breath. You have used without costing you a penny. The breath didn't cost you a penny. You've used your own healing to start to heal you. Now, the trick, Connie, is we have to make sure that when we're in that state of lack, we remember to go into the energy of now and then to breathe in the expansion. It's at that point of not feeling so good, we have that memory, and the memory is in our cell, it's in our muscle. So I always think, what point of my body could I touch? Where could I touch that would remind me that I need to come back to myself? So I can touch the point between, use my thumb to touch the point between, or I could clasp my hands or something, but find something that when you do it, it becomes a memory. So right now, to all of you listening and all of us here, just think, close your eyes, what part of my body can I touch that creates a memory in my muscle and in me that will remind me that this is the vortex of expansion. so that I can expand and release myself from any restriction. Just go into that energy frequency. Just go into that. Breathe that in and breathe that out. And just notice, where is your hand touching, or where is your attention going in your body? And just touch that part of your body. And in that touch, just have the energy of expansion and freedom. Just one word. So this is the point of expansion into light. Expansion into expanding greatness and more possibilities into your life. Notice where in your body you felt that. And just touch the skin or wherever it is. And just touch that, because that will be a point of power, a point of expansion, emancipation, a point that sets you free from restriction. It'll also be a point of expansion for you, a point of power. So wherever you touch there on your body, you've done it without thinking. You've just done it now. And that is your point of power. That point that you're touching on your body becomes a point that you, let's say you're upset with someone. If you unconsciously find yourself touching that part, all of a sudden, your DNA, the muscle, the skin is going to remember. So let's charge that energy again with expansion of love, light, and joy, turning any poison into medicine. So this is your point, whereby working with your breath, and it enables you to breathe in and calm yourself down, to have more clarity, for yourself and in yourself and with yourself, for yourself, with yourself and in yourself, with yourself, because you choose to and because you want to. And I think this is very important. So just those, I think those are the two main points. You've, first of all, working with the energy of now. Where are you? Deciding where you are. So you're either in a place of greatness or a place of not so greatness. And so you decide, and then from that point, when you're in a space of expansion, you know where you are. That's the second point. You decide where you are. You identify it. And then what's the next action? You decide, do I want it to expand or do I need to calm down? So when you're in a state of expansion and you feel free and liberated, you want to then celebrate that expansion. You just don't want to jump onto something else. No, no, no. Too many times we are running off. We're running off without celebrating our lives, without celebrating we caught the bus, without celebrating the food we're eating, without celebrating our health. We're so running, we don't have time. So it's very important at that point to then say, I celebrate, I really enjoy, and I sit 15 minutes in silence because I'm expanded here. And I sit in my expansion and I sit with peace and with calm, and I calm myself down to a point of zero balance where you feel so calm, nothing that happens around you will affect you. You just be so in a state of bliss. You can handle anything, even abuse. You just feel it doesn't touch you. And then when you're in a state of not so feeling really miserable on the opposite scale, you come to the point of you start to breathe in, you start to use your breath, you start to activate and find out, where do I want to be? And when you know where you want to be, you then start to use your breath. It may not be easy for you to get to where you want to be. However, your breath, again, being aware, and then start breathing in, and then breathing in a word like expansion. Expansion, so that you expand. Because you see, when you're stressed, your auric field is tight, your muscles are tight, your body is tight, even your face is twisted, your auric field is twisted, you're just like that. And then when you're breathing in that expansion, you're unfolding yourself, you're unfolding because you're like this, and the breathing expands you. So it's very important, I feel, that in understanding, we need to look at our physical body. Yes, we can talk about the mental body and whatever, but we also have to look at our physical body, because all of them are related: the spiritual, the physical, the emotional, the mental. It's all related. And Your physical affects your emotions. Your emotions affect you. The way you feel, you got a headache, you get all squeezed up. So these, I feel, is you acknowledge where you are now. It's easy to point the finger at somebody else and, oh, look at her. But stop that. Stop that. Stop that. That is the little mind. That is the ego. Look at yourself. But look at my life. If this person is going through a hard time and I can see it, is her hard time a reflection of my hard time? As I'm judging her, would I want someone to judge me? So even sometimes when we're feeling like we need to expand our lives, we may find that we're busy criticizing another person. So we have deviated from ourselves onto someone else and use that person to empower us. So when we want to expand, we need to also monitor our mind and how the mind is playing with our vortex. So another point is monitor your mind constantly to see what it's doing with you and how it's controlling you. Because you see, your mind can be a poison or it can be a medicine. So am I making sense to you?
Yes, it's really interesting. And I'd love to know a little bit more about, you were talking about the breath connecting you to life force.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because I was, sharing a little bit in the course this week about that.
Yes.
And I'd love to know a little bit more about how the breath connects us with the pranic energy, the life force of chi. How is it that the breath connects us to source?
Drinking my water. Okay.
Sure.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. That's the Bible says. And then you have space. And in space, it's darkness, it's void, isn't it? You can't see anything in space. And then the light comes. Yet in space, there is air. Yet in some space, there is no air. So for us as beings, we need air. We need space that has air that we can breathe. If the space has no air, we cannot live and we cannot breathe. So the first thing is the environment. So if we think about where we are, we're on Mother Earth, holding us down with the magnetic gravity of Mother Earth. We have cosmology all around us, and we're part of that. We're part of the planets. We're one of the planets in the universe. Within this vortex is the space and the expansion. Some of it is air we can breathe, and some of it is air that will kill us. So we want to work with the vortex of air. As soon as a child is born, the first thing you want is the child to take a breath. Mm-hmm. And the moment the child takes a breath, it cries. So there's sound. In the beginning was the word, was the sound. So you have the breath, and then you have the cry. So the sound, the baby comes out, and you're waiting, and you hit the baby, turn it upside down or whatever they do. Then the baby cries, it takes a breath, and then it cries. Do you see the energy? First of all, was the breath. The breath gave the life force. Then with that breath came the sound. And then there's sound we hear, and there's sound we don't hear. And in your course, Connie, you talked about rubbing your hands together and feeling the energy beside, and that's the pranic and chi force. It's the most basic exercise to teach anyone. Because that way, as they rub their hands together, they feel that life force, and that is the chi force. So first of all, you have the breath that enters you when you wake up as a child. And then you start to smell, you use all your senses. Now, all the senses are feeding your life force. They're helping you to walk and navigate through the world, to buy your ice cream, to do it. So you need sense. You can see the ice cream, you go. But all the time you're breathing air, oxygen, and you're breathing out carbon dioxide. So you see the yin and yang, the male and female, the life force and the death. You're constantly, there's a day and night. There's the duality happening all the time. Some people can live without breath for a while and come up. But if you go without breath, after a certain time, you will die. The same if you go without food, you will die. So breath is your pranic energy. It's your life force. It's the DNA. It is known that the breath we breathe in recycles our cells and our blood, changes the cells and changes the DNA. Just breathing pranic breathing, learning how to breathe, and there are different breathing techniques that one can learn, that yogis and many people are trained, and you can practice and see which one works for you. Now, when you're breathing, there are two ways. For me, I have two very simple ways of breathing, okay?
Sure.
I keep it very simple because I find that the simple ways work for me. But some people like complicated, so I keep mine very simple. I breathe, I close my eyes, and I breathe, I keep my mouth closed. I breathe in deeply through my nose. I breathe in right in, and I trace the air as it's going into my nose, down, 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 and I trace the air going all the way into my lungs, right down my heart, into my digestive system, and I fill up my digestive system with oxygen. And then I expand my tummy. I make sure the tummy is so big. Then I hold for 3. 1, 2, 3. Then I hold again for 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I breathe out very slowly. And I make a noise. I like making a noise. It's like a reward. Again, the sound energy. As I breathe in, I expand my tummy. I make my tummy. You don't want to do this when you're in a bikini or when you're trying to impress a guy or a chick. You do it when you know, because this is not about being beautiful. It's about expanding your energy.
Exactly. Yes.
Breathe it in. And then you hold, and then you breathe it out. And as you breathe out, let your tummy squeeze right into you, and almost like your tummy can hit your bone behind you, and just squeeze out, squeeze. And then squeeze. When you get to the last bit, hold for 3. And then breathe in slowly back in. It's a very simple exercise. I do it maybe 2 or 3 times. I don't do like 7 times because I get giddy and it just changes my vortex. So I always suggest do it 3 times. If you do it properly 3 times, that's all you need. Okay. And then you just change the vortex and you have now put in fresh oxygen. If you can't do that, then just jogging or running or a brisk walk can help you. So, and that's what you're doing. You're changing the cells in the body. You're putting in endorphins. You're creating happy energy in your body, in your skin. Now, for those who have bags under their eyes, for those who have a bit of wrinkled skin or whatever, spots and all that, the fresh air and the breathing will help to improve that. And this is very important. It is amazing what fresh air or breathing deeply will do to your system. And that gives you life force. This life force is so crucial. It's so crucial that you can activate it. And then when you activate it, you call it the pranic energy, you breathe it in, and you can store it in your hara point, which is the point between your navel and your perineum. So that's the hara point. So you can store that excess energy there. So one of the things we say with life force is what does life force means? It is a force that activates life. It is a force that gives you life. It is a force that empowers life. It is a force that expands life. It is a force that emancipates life. So life force, may the force be with you, is a very powerful vortex. And what you're saying there is a blessing to the person. You're saying, I greet you. I greet you. I greet you. I greet you with expansion. I greet you with life force. I greet you with love. I greet you. When you say, may the force be with you, you are actually blessing that person. And at the same time, blessing yourself. And it's very, very important to know the difference.
USA.
Oh, gosh.
Is that the universe?
I think so, yeah. I was trying to say yes. It's agreeing with me, I think.
Oh, that's so wonderful. The universe always agrees with us, so that's awesome.
Yes, that's actually quite spooky.
I'm going to ask Yantri now if she has any questions for you. So, lovely Yantri, do you have a question for Tokes?
Yes, I would like to ask a question about why the children, the babies crying when they are born.
Yes. Okay. Before you were born, okay, okay. Before you were born, they were up in heaven, let's say, up in heaven, deciding, okay, you're going to have, look, you and you are going to be my parents. So you're both going to make love. You're going to make love. And then I'm going to come. Would you both agree to be my mom and my dad? And they go, oh, I don't want to be your mom and dad. Oh, please, please, please be my mom, be my mom, be my mom. So they go, all right, then I'll be your mom. All right, then I'll be your dad. So then the seed, the person comes through, the baby is conceived energetically, is conceived in the womb. And then if you go and look at a video of how a baby grows, it looks really weird from the conception. It looks like a kitten. The shape of it. Just watch on YouTube or somewhere and just see the growth of a baby inside. It's quite miraculous. And that's life force. That's energy. Now, so you are conceived and the sperm and eggs meet together and they create you. Now, the baby starts to grow 3 months, 5 months, and 9 months is the ideal, not premature, but it doesn't matter. Still, the baby then comes out. So the woman has to push and push and push to get the baby out. Sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's not. Now, meanwhile, the baby is wrapped up in its mother's womb. It is so happy. It is so happy. It's lovely. It's dark. It's wonderful. It doesn't want to come out, but the mother is pushing and the nurses are doing things and everybody is praying for a safe delivery. And the baby, I don't want to go there. I'm so happy in my mother's womb. And eventually the baby comes out. The baby's eyes are closed and the baby is in shock. So the baby has moved from one world. So first of all, there was a world before conception. Then there was a conception. And then lived for 9 months or so in the mother's womb. Think about it. It's full of water. It's liquid. It's dark. It's being fed. It's wrapped up, curled. It now comes out and it's sort of stretching its body to come out and saying, my good free. What's this? There's a film around the baby. It is removed from its nose. The baby now has to decide to breathe in. It's now come into the world. So that is the sound of the baby announcing its presence on earth. So the baby then breathes in, ah, and then cries. That is the announcement. The baby announces it's a sacred, I call it the sacred sound of birth. The baby says its name. Some people can hear the sound of a baby and know its name, different sort of belief structures. So, and then, but before it cries, it has to take that life force, that breath. And then the breath creates something. It goes in. That's the first time the air goes into the body by itself without the help of the mother. It causes pain and a shock to the baby. So for me, I feel that when I tune into a baby crying, it's crying because it's upset. It was in its nice, cozy mommy, and now it's come out. It feels air. It's in the world. It's the Saha world, the world of suffering and happiness. It's now no longer, it now is now becoming independent of its mother. It will start to live surrounded by air, pranic life force. From the darkness of the womb, it comes into the light of Mother Earth. You see again the yin and yang, the duality that's coming in through there. And then there's the shock of all of that. And then it starts to cry, ah! And then they clean the baby and then it starts to suckle the mother's breast and go, oh, I'm happy now. Because it is now connected with the smell of the mother and the breathing. And it's now activated itself to start living life. But it first needed that life force and the breath. And then the sound. Did I answer that question, Yantri?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Good. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it's pretty clear. Because that's why the baby cry, because they transform their life from the darkness into the light, and they are soaking, right?
Yes.
So they also maybe afraid to lose from their mother or comfort zone.
Yes, yes, that's correct, my love. That is
Yes.
absolutely correct.
That's wonderful.
It's
Thank you.
interesting, really, how something
Mm.
like breath is a representation of the life force, how it's so simple but so powerful, and connects the body, like you're saying, Tokes. It connects, who we are as the spirit, is the energy body, is the physical body, the spirit body, and the breath is the life force that connects it all. And I think
Yes.
that is quite beautiful.
Yes, yes, I think, yes, you're quite correct. Yes, I agree. Yes. Very
So I
powerful.
think
It's
you
a
were
very
saying, Lovely?
I said it's a very powerful vortex.
Definitely, I want to learn more about it. This is my next, I think Spirit is asking me to research more about this concept. So watch out, guys. The next e-course is going to have a lot of stuff about breath in it.
Good.
I think we have time for one more question. So, Yantri, do you have a last question for Tokes before we finish?
Yeah, how about to heal our wounded, to have more confidence or more hope for our life?
Okay. You asked 3 questions.
You can choose one.
Yeah. So which one would you like me to answer?
How to heal yourself.
How to heal yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to tune into you, Yantri. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Shall I do a special thing for you rather than a general? Would you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So Yantri is asking how to heal. Okay. So one of the greatest ways to heal is to do ancestral healing.
Mm-hmm.
Our ancestors, our parents, have left many things and markings on us, which comes through in childhood. So sometimes the healing that we need is an ancestral or childhood memory or trauma. So healing can be in various forms, and there are different ways to heal. So I'm not going to be specific, because I was just about to channel into you, and my guy just told me no, it wouldn't be fair. So I'm just going to say very generally that a good way to heal is to heal one's ancestors or relationships with your parents, masculine and feminine within you as well. So throughout this course has been talking about masculine and feminine. So you want to heal yourself. You want to look at your relationships with your parents, your relationship with your family, your blood ties. You want to look at your relationship with your brothers, your sisters, also your mom and dad, your relatives. You want to look at your ancestral patterns, and you want to see, do we have something that's echoing throughout the family? Is this emotion that I have, this feeling, this illness, this problem I have in healing myself, is it something that's in the line of the DNA, or is it something that I manifest in myself and I'm believing it? Have I bought into somebody else's beliefs? So when it comes to healing, it's a good thing to sort of question where this could be from. Not everybody knows how to question. So then you go to somebody who can just decide and help you with the process or something. Healing yourself is a decision. Once you decide you want to heal, then you heal. It's very simple. The moment you decide that you've had enough, I've had enough, I'm ready to get better, I've had enough of this poverty, I've had enough of this illness, I've had enough of this disease, I've had enough. From now on, I'm getting better. I've had enough. The moment you come to the point of I've had enough, I take responsibility for my life. I'm not relying on somebody else. I'm not relying on a doctor. They may suggest certain things, but I need to find out, is it right for me? Or did that work for somebody else, but for me, it'll be something different? Because what works for somebody may not necessarily work for you. So how you heal yourself is taking responsibility for your life, making a decision that you're ready to heal and you want to heal. You see, my little princess, and all of you listening, you may decide you want to heal. Connie may say something, Yantri may say something, I may say something that will help you with healing, but you may not. You may reject it. You may shout at us. You may argue with us. You may tell us we're talking nonsense because you're not ready to heal. You say you are, So being ready to heal and hearing that you're ready to heal and hearing the results or what you need to do to help yourself to heal are two separate things. So healing yourself is a decision. And then making a decision to either research or to know or to intuit what is right for you to heal. And then taking action. One of the quickest way to heal yourself and the most powerful is music, happy music, not all this rubbish music, like, you know, rock and all the head, classical, soft, soothing music, listening to the sounds of nature, walking in grass, lying in grass, not here in the cold, you know, really connecting with the elements, hugging a tree and breathing. The breathing helps and exercising your body, whatever that may be for you. But one of the greatest way to heal is dancing and moving your body. Find something that enables you to move. You could be bedridden, you can still move your arms or you can move your neck. Find something you can move, even if it's just your fingers. Start to move an aspect of your body. So even if you're paralyzed, there's something you can move. And you can move it energetically if you can't move it physically. So I don't believe that because you can't move it physically, you can't move. You can move things energetically. Okay, so once you start ready to heal, you call in healing. The reason you are ill is because illness has happened in your auric field before it goes into your physical body. So when you heal the auric field, you can heal your physical body. You can also heal your physical body, but that doesn't stop. The illness may still be in your auric field and still filter into your physical body. So you need to be aware that you're working on all levels, your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, energetic body. All these things are very important. So healing yourself is a decision. Healing yourself is a decision. Staying alive and activating your own life force and using other tools. You could use crystals to help to anchor that energy. A very powerful crystal. You could choose a crystal that's just for your health. You could drink a bottle of water, filtered water, energized water. You can put love on your water. You know, simple things you can do that will not cost you money. You can do that for yourself. You can make sure you eat wholesome food. You can make sure you sleep. Sleep is a reason many people are ill. Sleep is a reason many people don't think straight. You need to make sure you're getting the right amount of sleep. The more sleep you have, the more your life force. Because you see, when you're sleeping at night, that's when the body is resting and reinventing itself. It's resting, it's calming down. So nighttime between 10 and 4 is a good resting time. Try to make sure you're sleeping around that time. Of course, if you're dancing and smoking and enjoying because you're young, that's fine. You know, but maybe when you're older, you go back to a rhythm that works for you. Be aware that healing yourself is a decision. There can be something will work. A cancer cure could work for one person and not work for you. Find what works for you. It's like finding the love of your life. It's like having a preference for expansion, having a preference of what will emancipate you. I may like to be with blue men. Another person likes red men. You know, another person likes black men. So everybody's choice is different. So you have to find what medicine is right for my body to heal. But I do know, breathing is good. Keeping all your organs intact is good. Eating well, nourishing your body, resting is good. Also, working with the emotions, your ancestry, your relationships with your mom and dad and with people is also good. So there are many vortexes and many ways to heal. And each person will heal in their own individual way as to what works for them. Was that okay, Yantri?
Yes, it was powerful.
Ah, thank you.
Very powerful.
Very powerful.
Thank you, Tokes. Thank you so much. And wonderful question, Yantri. Thank you for asking it.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful Tokes. We have about a minute left. What one thing could you advise us on to expand into the fullness of all that we are? What one thing would you recommend that we do?
I would recommend putting a circle in front of you, a round circle in front of you, just in front of you, and putting everything you want in that circle. Putting everything you want in that circle. And when that circle is full with everything that you want, and this is everything that you want in terms of expansion for your life, in that circle. So it's not a physical circle, it's an energetic circle. And you tell nobody what's in this circle. And then you take this circle and you pour it into you, or you step into it. This is one exercise I feel that is a magical exercise. That is the one thing I could say you could do that is very powerful. You don't tell anyone. You keep that same visual all the time. It is the perfection of the emancipation of the fullness of the expansion of you. That exercise is very powerful. It is an alchemical exercise. So the ripple effects are immense.
Wow. Tokes, as always, the lessons and the insights you have given us have been life-changing. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So everyone who's listening live, and of course everyone listening on the replay, I want to highly recommend that you reach out to Tokes. Her website is www.tokescoco.com. You can see it on the screen. Reach out to Tokes, have a look at her website. I highly recommend scheduling. How do you work, Tokes? You work on a one-to-one session?
Yes, I do group work, and I do packages, and I do one-to-one sessions, yes.
And you also do free moon meditations, what do you call them? Moon healings as well. So your Facebook page is Hands of Light?
Yes, Hands of Light Healing. Hands
of Light Healing. So those of you who are listening, I recommend jump onto Facebook and search Hands of Light Healing and like and follow Tokes. How else can people reach out to you, Tokes?
They can go on my website. They can see what I do, or even if they don't want to read all that, they can just get in touch with me. Just call me directly. Don't go to the website. You've heard me, you felt my energy, just contact me. You've heard me, sometimes you just hear, you feel. Respond to that feeling, respond to that insight, respond to the alchemical need within you to create an alchemical change within you so you can have your own alchemical resurrection of your true self and step into your magnificence.
Wow. So if you, like me, want to step into the alchemical magnificence within you and you're looking for alchemical healing, then you want to reach out to Tokes Coco tonight. So thank you so much, everyone. We've reached a time of completion. My name is, of course, Connie-Lee Bennett. Have a look at my website, connieleebennett.com. A very, very warm thank you for opening up your hearts and listening to us tonight. And an even warmer namaste to the beautiful Tokes. Tokes, thank you so much once again.
Thank you. We are honored. Thank you.
Right. Well, this is our final live question and answer for this Inner Feminine Power and Passion e-course. But I look forward to connecting with every single one of you for our next e-course. Lots of love to everyone. Bye.
Bye.